All right. Well, best laid plans. When I haven't been live in a while, things happen, and apparently I got kicked out. And so, for those of you that are here live, thanks for being here. Uh, I took a hiatus, and apparently my computer said I should still be on vacation. So thank you so much for the magical thing about StreamYard is I hit live and then my computer cut out and it's still there. So thank you all so much for being here. Not my usual start. Tina, thanks for tuning in. Antonetta, I had a little mini vacation break here, so I'm gonna dive back in. This is not the usual look here, so I apologize. Camera's not great, but in 1 second here, I'm gonna be pull up when I need to. I did a quick fix, and so I can't connect anything else here. So we're just gonna pivot. It's like the best, that's how it works in the classroom, right? You have the best lesson planned ever, and then we pivot. And I'm going to age myself for my friends that watch Friends. You might remember pivot. That's kind of a big deal. So I'm going to open up this other thing here, and we're going to dive into today's episode of Just Ask Jen. Again, thanks for those of you that are tuning in live. Drop any questions you might have. If you've got a question, hashtag ask in the chat. Comments later on if you want to ask that for those folks that are tuning in from the future. If you have any questions, drop them in there. So today I kind of figured I would highlight some of the questions that I have at the start of school. So here in Atlanta where I am, and for those of you that have stumbled across this by chance and you're like, hey, I'm, who are you? And I just happened across this video. My name is Jennifer Hall, and I'm an educational technology specialist here in Atlanta. And what that means is that I provide technology training for teachers here in Atlanta, push into classrooms. That was virtually last year, but I'm so excited to be back working with teachers right now. And just kind of excited about how, what this year is going to be like. I mean, obviously, it's a new year. And a new experience getting back to the normal here. But this is episode number 8, so I've done a few of these, and I'm hoping to continue to host these throughout the school year where I answer questions live. So again, if you have any comments, questions, drop them in the chat. But we're back to school already. So this is the second full week of school. So I've had some questions from teachers about, hey, I'm looking for some ideas, some resources. So I thought I would highlight those during the session. So I hope that sounds good. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. So first question that was asked was from one of my science teachers who was like, I want to be able to have an interactive, notebook for my students as a way to engage them. And so Slides Mania, if you're not familiar with Slides Mania, is an absolutely amazing website that has free templates, and they have some awesome notebook style ones that you can use with your students. What's great is if you're a Google user, you can use those, or you can use them as PowerPoint templates. So that means you can push them out of Google Classroom, or you can push them out via Teams if you're a Teams user. So Slides Mania, and I'm going to hop over here live here just a second, kind of highlight some of those templates. So I have one screen now, so that means the struggle is real. So you all are seeing the real deal experience here as I work this out here. So let me share this nifty little screen here, and we're going to share. I want to showcase. Let's see here. All right, Slides Mania. There we go. So on Slides Mania, you can dive over here and you can say to go to Education and look for that notebook style option here. We're going to close out of that, and I just don't want to see that ad right now. And you'll see that some amazing templates that would be great for elementary, middle, and high school. You can mix and match some of the themes, but as you can see, digital notebook with tabs. And this is going to live in a Google template, in a slide template that you can modify for your students. Now and here's like a 3-ring binder themed one, our week. So these are all different ones. I'm going to drop this link in the chat, in the comments for y'all. But there's different ones, some that are more mature. So, like, look at this one. This looks like the old school composition notebook. She does such an amazing job designing these. So I'm going to drop this link in there. She does such an amazing job sharing out these templates, and they're all free. So I would definitely say check these out if you want to have a notebook. And what you can do is you make a copy for each student, and then you can make a master one, a main template one, and then you can have students just copy additional pages into their own notebook if need be. So as the notebook grows throughout the year, you can say, all right, here's a new page, here's a new resource, and you can push that out for them to copy it and bring it into their notebook. I saw a question popped up here. Tina, thank you for that. What updates from Google are important to share with teachers? Let's see, big updates. I know there's a lot for Google Meet. We are using Zoom in our district in the event we need to do any virtual meetings, but there are a lot of the functionality of Meet that's coming is the ability to, the breakout rooms is more robust. They've changed out the interface. I would definitely say that's a big update that teachers have been excited about. Let's see, other big updates about Google. I'm going to ponder. I'm going to think about that. You got me thinking, Tina. That's a great question. And let's see as it bubbles up in my mind what other ones you need to know about. I see we have a Slides Mania fan. Again, what amazes me is that Slides Mania is created by one amazingly artistic and creative individual that shares those out for teachers. Can have co-hosts now. Yes, that is true, because you can give the superpowers. I think the other thing is that you can do a pin view in Meet, the ability to not have that take over your screen, because that was always the thing when you go to screen share, you couldn't see what was happening. I do know it's been around for a little while, but I think it's a pretty cool feature, is that you can actually chat live in your document. It's different than comments. So if you're working remotely or even in the same classroom and you want students to be able to use that chat feature, the chat is not saved. It's for real-time collaboration. So like you won't have to have a separate tool up there. Also, you can access Meet inside of docs as well. I see we also have some fellow Zoom users as well. All right, so definitely check out Slides Mania as one of your go-to resources if you're wanting to make interactive notebooks. So that was one of the first questions that I received this year, and I wanted to share that out. All right, next up, let's keep it moving here. One of my absolute favorite tools is Flipgrid. Where are my Flipgrid fans? Let me know if you've got the Flipgrid fever in the comments, because Flipgrid is one of my all-time favorite tools, and there's a bunch of new features that have just dropped in the Flipgrid cam. I see I got some yes fans that they love the Flipgrid. They love the Flipgrid. And some of the features that are really something I want to highlight is the ability to add in backdrops, which I had a second camera set up, so we're going to try and do this live and see if it cooperates. I'm going to try and show you what that looks like. The ability to have lenses is a feature. So the backdrops is an option that you can customize on the web, but it does live in the mobile app. Lenses is, think about your Instagram filters and Snapchat filters. Yeah, the new features are available now. I've been playing around. They have more stickers and boards to add. And they have the ability to add music, which is super powerful as well. Just more ways for students to create. So we're going to try this. This is the whole fun of going live. I was good to go with my second camera, but my friends, y'all are going to, we're going to give this a try, because you got to see them to believe them, because I was playing around. The nice thing about the backdrop is I've been for ever and ever saying I would love to have a green screen functionality of so that you could use Flipgrid to create green screen videos, because I do a lot of green screen work with schools, and that was like the one thing we would use doing to film with green screen, and then we would upload it to Flipgrid and use it to do some editing, and then share it for projects. And being able to do that was just super awesome. I mean, you definitely want to have the ability to change out the background, and it makes things more interesting. So with that being said, and I'm logging in here to my Flipgrid account right now so we can see it live, and magic should be happening here. You know, it always takes a second. Everything was all logged in before. If this is your first time showing up for Just Ask Jen, this is not my best effort. I apologize. All right, there we go. Magic is happening. All right, we're going to get in here. We're going to open up Shorts. So just a little tip, if you did not know this, you can actually go in and just use the Shorts camera to create content. So we're going to go over here to my Flipgrid. There it is. And up at the top, you can go up here and say, hey, I would like to add a new short. And I hit that plus, and this is probably where you're going to fuss at me because my camera is being used. Let's see if it will cooperate. And it might kick back. Oh, there we go. So now that I'm into the camera, super excited. It's working. Let's switch it. So you don't need to see two of me. We'll switch over. Now you just see this one. So I'm actually inside of the Flipgrid Shorts camera. And now down here, you're going to see this option for backdrop. So I can say, all right, I want to hit that backdrop. They've already got pre-made ones in there, so I've got options. So I can just blur out my background. Pretty cool. So this is very similar to the technology that we're seeing in Zoom, in Microsoft Teams, and it's kind of cool because you can do it in the Zoom mobile app. But I've got some ones. Obviously, got to have some Minecraft. Now, I'm super kind of blurry right now because I had the lights turned off in my office. If you were in a well-lit room, it's going to look a lot better. I've got some rainbow gumbo here. I've got, oh, I wish I was still on vacation at the pool. So I've got several different fun backgrounds automatically. Now the option is I can use a screen as a backdrop. So now if I wanted to say, hey, show my screen, I'm going to say, we'll do the entire screen just to see what it looks like. So now I can use this as a teaching piece if I had a website behind me and I wanted to highlight that. Or I can go over here and hit plus, and I can upload a picture, and I'm just going to bring up, let's see here. What do I got here? We'll use this screenshot that I took of Slides Mania since I was talking about earlier. I can bring up my own background here as well. Now, the bringing up your own background is only available in the desktop version, but as you can see, that is super powerful. And look at this. I can move me around. How amazing is that? I mean, so now I did a project with 6th grade science last year, and we used Flipgrid to be meteorologists. And then we were able to use the split screen with a board to kind of make it like we were doing the news. But how awesome is this that they could actually have the background behind them? So I just think this is just an amazingly powerful update. I'm glad you appreciate that I'm doing this time. It's fun to answer these questions, and you can even add your own backdrop. To me, that's a game changer. And I see Tina's excited. It's fantastic. This update again. I'm as blurry as I am because I had mood lighting in my office, not good lighting. When I had it set up before, I had my nifty little ring light here. So that is the way it works, which is super cool. And I just wanted to point that out. Some other things you need to know here is that I can remove my black backdrop here, so I can say, nope, I'm going to bring that back so it's not as dizzying. I can go into these effects, and there's tons of different effects here. So the filters are still there, the text, annotating with a pen, adding in a board. So they've added more board choices, as you can see, post-it notes, papers, all these different board choices. And I can add in stickers, GIFs, photos, and then add in those frames. And one of the things I did with the 6th grade students last year to get around the not being able to do this backdrop option is that we made frames to make it look like we were in the news. So to me, Flipgrid is the most amazing free tool for students to create content in any subject area. So if you're not already using Flipgrid, you definitely need to check it out because, again, that backdrop thing, the filters, now the filters here are going to look a little bit different. This right here is photo filters. the filters on the mobile app actually give you a different look and feel. So again, I absolutely love these updates. And again, it's awesome and it's free. So free is my favorite price. So if you're not already playing with those updates, please check those out that are available on the Flipgrid camera. So I'd love to know, has anyone played with the Flipgrid camera? So again, I'll point out that the Add Your Own Backdrop is available on the desktop app. I'm excited because in Atlanta, our students are getting Chromebooks, and so that's perfect because it's got a great camera. They can upload backgrounds. And then we also have our younger students that got iPads, so now they have the flexibility of using the iPads. And again, it's so awesome. All right. So let me know in the comments how you've been using Flipgrid, if you've been using it, any ideas you have that you want to share. All right. Next up, because it's always about like what is the latest and greatest, what are the new things, what are some updates. So I want to share, this is another update that I'm super excited about, and that is an update to Merge. So do I have any Merge Cube users? Anyone that were like me, they went out and bought the Merge Cube when they were all $1 at Walmart? Because I didn't know what they were, but there was $1, so of course I'm going to go out and buy it. Well, back then, Merge was really more game-like, and now they've developed all of this science and STEM content that you can use, and they've added this new option, which is called World Mode. You don't have to have a cube. So if you were not one of those folks that went out and bought those $1 cubes, you can now, with a subscription to Merge, have access to what they call in-world mode. That means it's going to bring that object into the world for students. I'm excited about this for my students because, again, we got the Chromebooks that have the articulating camera, so they'll be able to flip that camera around and bring these objects into the real world for them to engage in that content. And think of it like, how many of you have shopped on Amazon and you're like, oh, I'd like to get this piece of furniture. And they give you this option of like, how does it look in your house? Where would you like, does it fit? And so I did that. I was looking for a corner shelf to get for my kitchen. And I was like, well, I like it right there because it was in one of those corner angled shelves. And lo and behold, I used the in-world mode on Amazon to figure that out. So now having this content available for students is pretty cool. So I see that Antonetta said you did not know that world mode was available. So there's 3 modes on the Merge Cube. There's 3D mode. There is also, so we got 3D mode is one. All right. Then you have cube mode, which was the default mode initially. And then now you have the third option, which is world mode. And I see I got some folks that said never heard of the Merge Cube. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I've got on my channel, you need to search. I've got a lesson that I did with physical science on chemical reactions, and watch how students react seeing the Merge Cube. It's super cool. So if you work with STEM, or you just want to have to level up your science content, it is standards aligned. They have these interactive labs, and the world mode to me is a game changer. They developed it during the midst of the pandemic, which is great because you can have cubes, you can even print the cubes, but obviously we're trying to limit changing and sharing of resources, and so students don't have to have a cube now. So it's pretty cool. So definitely check that out as well. All right, we'll keep moving along here. Next up, I want to share out my some templates that I have for Wakelet. Who are my Wakelet users? I'm just curious. Let me know in the comments if you are a Wakelet user. I absolutely love Wakelet. And if you're not familiar with Wakelet, it is a content curation resource that is completely free. So again, favorite price. I'm going to drop this link in the comments. It might kick back because it has an @ symbol in it. And that's because that's how you find a profile. This is my profile. So the link might not be active, but if you can copy and paste it, you might be able to get it. I see we got just started using it. So Wakelet is amazing because of the fact that you can create these templates. So I have lesson templates on my Wakelet collection. So I'm going to hop over there. So we'll take a look at those. And those are free for you to make copies of if it's something that you think would be interesting. So that is my user profile. I'm going to go here live to it. All right, let's see here. This hopping back and forth, like I said, that one screen, the struggle is real, but we are making it work. And thank you for those of you that are still hanging in with me through the fun that we're having right here. All right, so this is my Wakelet profile here, so you a little bit about me, but then you can see I've got collections for professional development, how I can support for PD. I have lesson templates, and how Wakelet works. If you're one of those new folks here that you're like, I've never seen Wakelet before, Wakelet allows you to put anything that lives on the web in a collection. So it can be a link to a resource, it can be a website, and you can add text to it, you can add context, so you can add in images, you can add in animated GIFs. This is a HyperDoc template for the 5E model for a lesson. So this is actually, you can put all the resources you need in here to go through the lesson progression. How do you engage your learners? How do you explore? Well, let's do the explain concepts. Let's do a deeper dive. How do we elaborate that content for that lesson? And then how you're going to evaluate it. There's a couple of ideas on how you can do it. I'm going to drop a link to this particular one right here. So I'm going to copy this one and drop it in the chat. So you can make copies of any of these. You can search for ones that are available. And what's great is that you can share out these with your learners, and you can make a collection that is a collection that might have, for your on-level learners, you've pushed out articles and activities for one group of learners, and then you can duplicate a collection, and you can then have one for your emerging learners and one for your high flyers or your gifted learners. And so you can use it to differentiate content. So I have a couple of templates that I wanted to share out as you start your school year. So definitely think that's a great resource. I was on a call. I'm a Wakelet community leader and ambassador, and they had a call today with us, and they shared out what's coming. And what's coming is, thanks, I'm glad that you like it. Please make a copy of it, make use of it. They're adding some more functionality, because you can actually create classes using your Google Classroom linked to a class access for your students, so students can create, because that's a skill, being able to curate content. And it's great for their portfolios, for research projects. And I have several different templates that are on there, but they're adding some new features, which it's a lot easier to share out and create classes. So your students have a safe access to it. They don't have to opt into an account. It's linked to Google Classroom, but they're adding a new feature that is right now they have mood board, and they have media, and a couple other different ways you can organize content, but they're adding a new feature that's coming in the next couple of days. So this is kind of like top secret information I just learned, but they said I could share. That's what being an ambassador is. You're supposed to share the good stuff, right? They're adding a columns feature, so you can actually group your content a little bit more easily. So you could put students in groups. You could actually organize it and have them work on the same collection and work in different sections. So that's coming very soon. They said in the next couple of days. So if you're new to Wakelet, definitely explore. I've got a how to use Wakelet. I have a 10 ideas series, 10 ways you might want to use Wakelet on my channel. So if you're not already a subscriber, subscribe and check that out, because it's a deep dive into Wakelet. I'm a big fan, and it keeps getting better. And of course, my favorite part is that Wakelet is free and easy for you to share and collaborate. So I could take this template and I can share it with my teachers, and they can make a copy of it, or I could collaborate on a collection. So if you're wanting to work with your fellow social studies teachers or math teachers, and you want to curate content for your students, you can do that in one collection and then share it out for lesson planning. Great for newsletters. But really, the power for students to create their own accounts now as part of Google Classroom allows them to start curating and creating portfolios and doing research on their own. So thanks so much for being here. I got some folks, I see how you're super excited about the updates. Yes, so there's the secret sauce I learned about today. You need a little bit better understanding of Wakelet. Good. Hopefully, now that was a taster. I mean, this was not all about Wakelet. But the power of Wakelet, and I'm going to hop over here real quick. If I go back home, creating a new collection. Once you get your free account, create, give it a cover image. See right here, I got media, compact, grid, mood board, and they've got new different ones coming. I'm going to go with media, but I literally can add plus. I can do any web address, add text with emojis, bold, underline, hyperlink resources. So I'm just going to say hello, add that in there. I can add in bookmarks, images, and I can add in things from apps. So tweets, video, you can even put in a Flipgrid camera, YouTube, Google Drive, or OneDrive. So anything that has a URL can be added into a collection. So a couple of the other ones, and by default, it starts out as private. You have to choose to share it. But if we go back to my home, some of my other ones, see a little demo, you can add in animated GIFs. It's kind of fun. I like to use it to curate resources. So like I did a session this summer on AR and VR in the classroom. So here is like all of the resources that you need, and you can customize any of this to set the context of what you want that resource, like read this article, respond, put a link to a Google document or a Google form or a Microsoft form. Is a great way to link that in there. Is it similar to Padlet? Great question. I would say it is similar to Padlet in the sense that Padlet lets you put just about anything in a space. The collaboration piece and being able to set who has the option to add content is a little bit different than in a Padlet. It's kind of a free-for-all. If you share out a link, and that's to my understanding. I have not used Padlet a lot lately. When it went to a pay feature to have access to more Padlets, I created my own Gen Padlet using Google Drawings and made my own version of it. And then with Wakelet, I moved to that because it's very robust and price is right. It's free. But someone said that think of Wakelet as Pinterest meets Padlet, if that makes sense. So like the functionality of Padlet to grab things together, and then Pinterest because you can have followers and you can like people and you can explore and find other collections. So hopefully that answered your question about how does that fit in terms of being like Padlet. So, but that was a great question. I'm glad that y'all are excited. Yeah, hopefully, yeah, you are welcome. I mean, explore. Like I said, on the channel, I have 10 ideas for Wakelet, and I also have share any of those collections. And I actually have a collection of videos of trainings I've done on Wakelet, I think, on there too. That's great. A Wakelet collection on Wakelet resources. All right, let's keep it moving here. And I'm watching in the comments. Thank you so much for the feedback. It's always nice that even though I'm talking to the computer screen, to have folks give me comments. If you're finding this valuable, I appreciate it. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel so you're notified next time I do this or of any new videos that I'm going to be sharing. I took a hiatus. I haven't uploaded a newly edited video in a little while, but I'm going to get back to it. I did take a little bit of a break. Thought I deserved a little bit of a summer vacation. But let's highlight a couple other things that I wanted to share. So I always get asked at the beginning of the year, so Jen, what is your favorite gadget lately? And I've kind of got two right now. So this is, I usually don't talk a lot about gadgets, but you know, sometimes you want to talk about gadgets. And this is probably one of my new favorite things. This is the Dino Fire Presentation Clicker Air Mouse. That's the technical name of it. It's by Dino Fire. I got it on Amazon, and I'm always looking for budget good gadgets. And this is, don't laugh, this is an air mouse clicker all in one with a laser pointer. So it's literally all the things you need in one, and it's $20 on Amazon right now. So not selling for Amazon. I'm not getting any kickbacks for sharing this with you. I just was looking for something new because my other one that I'd used, I hadn't gone out and presented in a year. And what I've learned is sometimes the plastic gets sticky and funky. And I was like, oh no. And it was my favorite clicker that I'd ever had. It was like $10 and they don't make it anymore. So I was like, okay, it's time, Jen, for the upgrade. And so I opted to get this one. And it's been road tested now for a couple of presentations in the real world. And if you're like me and you need a clicker for your classroom so you can move around and change your slides and mouse left, right click, select things and adjust the volume and use the laser and all of that. Not bad. I'm not trying to get teachers to spend money, but I always get asked, Jen, what is this? And I'm like, oh, this is my new thing. So I say, no way. Don't get mad at me, Antonetta, if you're on Amazon later, but it's pretty cool. So I did want to share that out as item number one of things I just got, and I was so excited. It got here just in time for my first presentation out in the real world, because I got back with teachers last week, and I've been having so much fun. I did yesterday. I had 4 trainings in a day, and I was like, yay, I have my clicker. But I was so excited to be up moving around. I didn't use it as much as I would have liked to, because I was like, yes, I'm up getting steps. But definitely check it out if you're looking for an air mouse clicker that will let you basically, if you need to maneuver around the room and you still want to be able to control your computer, not just click through a slide deck. So that's one tip. And all right, so I think Antonetta's gonna be mad at me because she's gonna go buy herself a clicker. But again, and it has bonus functionality on a PC, but it does work on a Mac. So if you're like me, so here's my other go-to gadget that has been a game changer for me. I had this before, a wireless amplifier. I bought it when I needed, in case I needed a mic traveling and doing presentations, because when you talk all day, I needed the ability to project my voice, because by the end of the day I'd lose my voice. And so I bought a voice amplifier, a wireless one, a while ago, and then during the pandemic and when teachers had to get back into the classrooms and they were like, I'm wearing a mask, my kids can't hear me, I recommended getting a wireless amplifier, because the headset piece goes over right at the mask and you can hear, because you can put the speaker anywhere you need in the room. So ideally at the front of the room, or if you're in a hybrid situation, over by the laptop, and the kids would hear you via the mic on the computer. So I really got to road test that this week, because I had it before, but now using it in the classroom with masks, I've done several trainings the last couple of weeks, and it is my go-to favorite thing. This is a little bit pricier. Again, not selling anything for Amazon, but my teachers, literally, I was in training yesterday and they're like, where do I get one of these? I need this. There's several different brands and versions. Like the one that I bought a couple years ago isn't available now. As long as it's wireless, make sure it's wireless. That means the Bluetooth will connect and the speaker can go anywhere. If you get a wired one, you have to wear the speaker like it's a belt. And maybe you find that fashionable, but I personally don't want to wear it around me. But the speaker can go at the front of the room, and it does a really good job. I was in a media center yesterday and it worked great. But it's just something to make it a little bit easier on your voice. I see that, Antonetta's going to go shopping again. It's just something to amplify your voice wearing a mask, because the voice strain, usually at the beginning of the school year, just training all day, I would lose my voice. And now to have to compensate wearing a mask, it's just an extra resource or tip that I wanted to share out. So again, not trying to get y'all to shop, but when I went in and the teachers were like, what is this? I need one of these. It's there. On my channel, I actually have a video of me demoing the difference of wearing a mask, and then once you put the amplifier on, if you want to share, check that out. That is, I created that last year. I linked it on my channel. It's pretty cool. So moving along here, watching my time, watching to see if I have any other burning questions that are coming out of the. Thank you. I'm glad you're liking the ideas. Trying to think other good stuff that people have been asking me about lately that's new. I mean, because right now is where all the releases are coming. Even I'm here in the South, so we're back at school already. But we have teachers that are probably going back this week or next. And my hat's off to you. After doing a day, 4 sessions yesterday, with a mask on, wearing my little wireless amplifier, working with people, socially distanced, my hat goes off to the teachers that are doing this in the classroom, and that's really a challenge. Something else I'll point out is that I did this as well because some people still have a challenge hearing, and this is called web Captioner. When I was doing training, let's pull this up over here so y'all can see it. We're gonna show you this, and I have a quick little video on this as well, but this is kind of cool that you can use what's called web Captioner, and I can choose to start captioning, and it's going to go to a little caption screen right here. So one of the things that I do now, and I did this when I was doing training yesterday, was I had this as like a running window underneath while I was presenting, so it's on the screen. So I can start captioning. Choose your microphone. It's in use during it only uses it during captioning. I'm going to say yes, that's fine. It should be good. And it's probably mad at me right now because I'm using my mic. Oh yeah, see, I'm using my mic elsewhere. It might not let me do it. Need your permission. That's what it's doing. It's because right now I am using my mic elsewhere. Hold on, let me see if I can get it to do it. It is not going to let me do it right now because, let's see here. I'll try one more time, and if this doesn't cooperate, it's because when I'm miking. Yeah, that's what it's doing. So how it works is that it automatically picks up what you're doing, and you can have it as like a running little tab at the bottom of your screen. Yeah, on Chromebooks. Yeah, that's good to know. We're new to having Chromebooks in our district as a one-to-one thing. So thank you, Tina, for that tip. I appreciate it. It's good to know. I'm thinking of, as a teacher at the front of the room, if you're using an interactive board, that you can have that captioner running. Another magic trick is if you actually have ELL students, language learners, you can use live captioning in PowerPoint, and it will even translate. You can speak in English, and it will put a Spanish bar at the bottom. I worked with an ESOL teacher this week that was like, I need to be able to translate. I've got a kid that does not speak any English, and she was like, that would be a way she could, introduce it with you. Will this pick up? See, there we go. I'm talking about foreign language. Will this pick up foreign languages such as French or Spanish? So how Web Captioner works is it hears the language and it will put it in that language. So you can go in. I'm going to hop back over here to the settings. Let me see. Is it going to let me use it? It might. Hold on. I got it. It took a second. It's just being super moody. Here we go. Watch this. We're going to go to this Chrome tab. We're going to bring up Web Captioner and watch. Here we go. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Notice it's capturing exactly what I'm doing and what I'm saying in English. Hola, ¿cómo estás? I've been working on my Spanish. Guess what? I can go over here and I can go into the settings and I can say, hey, I need to adjust the language, and I'm going to change it to Spanish, and I can go Spanish, United States, El Salvador, Costa Rica, and let's see here. I'm going to go with, I'll just go Spanish in Spain. I'm going to close that. And now, hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien, gracias. You too. It recognized, now I'm terrible with my language. See how it recognizes that I was speaking that other language, and it's going to pick that up a little bit easier. So it does not translate it. It does not say, hey, you can talk in, let me get it back to English here. English America, United States, there we go. It will not translate it live here, but if you set it to another language, it would be listening for that language. So that's something I also added, and the mic on it is really good. And so between the wireless amplifier and this running at the bottom, teachers could hear more clearly because the struggle of that. That is Web Captioner. Let me drop that link in the comments in the chat here. Hang on a second. That's Web Captioner. And I do have on my YouTube channel a how to do it and use it in Zoom, so that you have that living. Because you can use in slides, you can use the live captions, and in PowerPoint you can use the live captions. But if you have to hop from different resources, so like here I've been going from tab to tab to tab, I can have that living at the bottom as a smaller little bar. You just resize your Chrome bar, and it lives at the bottom during each of your during your sessions, which is kind of cool to do that. So, all right, trying to see if there's any other burning questions. And shout out to my friend Pinabi that popped in here on the end. You missed the whole cluster that was the start of this. As you can tell, this does not look right. I'm looking down at my laptop because technology. That's all I'm going to say. Technology is the most wonderful thing in the world until it gives you problems. But this has been episode number 8 of the Just Ask Jen series. So I'm planning to continue this. If you found this to be beneficial, I do have a link that people can go in and submit questions ahead of time, so I can kind of prepare a little bit more. Because I apologize, I didn't have as many awesome updates for Google. But I would like to say thank you so much for tuning in now. Hopefully you found this beneficial. If you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe to the video. If you're one of my fabulous friends that is watching from the future, thank you so very much for that. There will be some more live videos coming, and more live streams, as well as some more video content. If you have any ideas of things that you'd love to see me create a video about, let me know in the comments. And hey Jen, I'd like a tutorial on this. I'd love for you to give me some ideas for this. I'm always looking for content. I think in my mind, oh, this will be great. I don't know. What would you like to hear from me? Thank you, my friend. You are too kind to say that, Tina. I appreciate you all being here. This has been fun. I need to get back into the swing of things. I've missed this. It's been filling my cup being around my teachers and being back to work. If you're not already back to school, I wish you all the best of luck and hope that you have an amazing school year. My focus this year as we go back is to get teachers to capitalize on what they've learned during the pandemic and take those strategies where we had to pivot to remote learning so quickly, and take those strategies and tools and capitalize on it with students now. And don't think of it as pandemic teaching and go back to the way they were teaching before, that we capitalize on that. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to continue sharing what we're doing. We're moving towards personalized learning in my district. So as I learn things, I'm going to share things with you all. But if you have any ideas or questions or suggestions, please drop them in the comments and let me know. Thank you all so much for your time. As always, I appreciate you all.